How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, get that imagination all revved up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from George McManus. If you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a wonderful artist and comic book and comic strip creator. He was around the early turn of the century doing stuff around the same time, a little bit before Winsor McCay. You can see a lot of those early cartoon strip illustration influences in his work, and this is a little snippet from Bringing Up Father, which was one of his most famous ones that he did. I really love his style. It's very iconic of the stylings of the day, of that early comic strip aesthetic, and I think he really personifies that beautifully. This is a tribute that he did kind of to the Nemo of Winsor McCay's comic strip, but he's just a beautiful artist, got a really wonderful imagination. I really love those early cartoon stylings, so definitely check out more of his stuff. I will throw a link in the description below. I feel like between him and Winsor McCay, they really are beautiful influences and style choices that aren't really as prevalent as they are as everything's kind of Disneyfied or anime-fied, and there's a little bit less uniqueness in what we accept these days as comic book stylings, and I feel like there's a beautifulness to their original stuff there, where each one is a little bit different. There's got more sensibilities of high art blended with comicness or caricaturization, rather than just reiterations of kind of the same stuff that you've kind of just seen develop from maybe like the 70s on to now, which I love all that stuff too, but I really find myself drawn more personal tastes towards the older stuff. But that being said, I wanted to share a quote with you guys from him, and this is George McManus talking about one of his favorite quotes as well, so it's kind of a double quote. It's reminiscent of Michael Scott's quote of Wayne Gretzky, but let's just go there. And that was, love thy art, poor as it may be, which thou hast learned, and be content with it, thyself neither the tyrant nor the slave of any man. I wouldn't put it quite like that, but we would mean the same thing. Again, he was talking about his favorite quote and what inspires him, so I still feel like that kind of is attributed to him as well, and that's what drove his art styles. And I think that's interesting because I think that's something that people who are creative tend not to do. They don't really appreciate, I don't know, maybe it's somewhere in the middle, where you're not so full of yourself that you think everything you do is wonderful, but you're also not that person who thinks everything you do is miserable, but you're just trying to find appreciation for where you're at on each step of your journey, and as you're learning more and as you're growing, and to be content with that. But it's a tricky slope, because you never really want to find contentment in your work, because then you can tend to stagnate. But just to be happy where you are and eager to grow, I think, would be somewhere along those lines. But let's get into some animation. I seem a little rambly today, I think, so let's start playing around and doing some stuff here. If you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, give ourselves 48 frames. It's 2 seconds of animation. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. Today's rig is the Fazee or Phase rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash, and I will throw a link in the description below. And above and beyond that, it's just kind of hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process, a little bit of just talking about the creative life in general, and hopefully the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create something unique that's coming from yourself, that you can put out there and share with the world each and every day as you're growing with your steps in your journey for whatever medium it is that you choose to try and master in your own way. So let's go ahead and start here. Let's go ahead and create a polygon primitives, a cube here, just have a floor base. I think I'm going to do a cycle today, just do something a little bit so we can get in a good time. I feel like the last few days have been a little bit longer than usual. And I was thinking for today, keep it fairly vanilla, but the idea behind it will be that he doesn't care. He's just like the attitude we want to try and get in there is that he just doesn't matter, just chilling, doesn't give a crap about anything. Just kind of have some personality in our walk here, but still kind of keep it in the. See, it's got some funky stuff here, so let's see how we can get this working. Now, does this really do anything? Okay, it does. So let's tip it that way. Give the belly sticking out a little bit, and just have to kind of take this a little bit differently than my normal approach for how I do a spine, which would be kind of all together rather than doing each cog individually. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that plays out with what we do. But we want to have this guy kind of, I wouldn't say cool, but just that he doesn't care about anybody's opinion is kind of the style we want to go in. So we're not going to give him the greatest posture to start with, because he doesn't care if people don't like his posture. Go ahead and dip the neck here. Rotate that up here. Actually, it'll go down a little bit more. Let's see if we can rotate the head here. And let's push that arm forward there. And this one here. And let's rotate the wrist down. We just want to kind of create a stylized pose here to kind of get our character across for where we're going to be going with. Maybe we could do a little bit of hang down there as well. Bring this a little bit more. Bring this up a little bit more. Bring that down a little bit. Wrist out a little bit more. Try and give them some expression here. Do they have a mouth controller or anything? Let's see. Mustache off. Facial UI on. Alright, there we go. Try and see if we can get that. Do a little bit more nose. See if we can get the mouth open a little bit wider, or out further. Push the corners of the lips a little bit more. It doesn't appear that there is a controller for that. Seeing if we can do a little bit. There we go. Push that out a little bit more. We can put the corners of the lips down a little bit. We don't want it to seem too happy. We just want him to seem too, like, just doesn't care. I think the eyelids, I feel a little too sleepy right here, so I think I'm gonna push them up a little bit more. That feels just too sleepy for me, so maybe something kind of like that. Leave the cheeks where they are. Do a little bit of fingers here. Do they have finger controllers here? Looks like they should. Maybe we're just not having those off here. Let's turn that on. No, it's gonna be in there. That's not what I want. I want some fingers. Gotta have something with the fingers here, right? Alright, I guess I won't worry about that too much now, but that's gonna kind of be a bummer if we don't have something for that. I'm sure it's just a controller that I'm not seeing. Secondary controller on. No, that still does. Leave that off. And I guess we'll just go from here. It's gonna bulb back a little bit more. He's not too worried about where he's gonna go here. And let's do a little bit of ball roll there. Bring that back then a little bit more. Not a lot. And this one we'll go ahead and do a little bit of heel lift. Let's heel roll. Yeah, zero that out. And zero that out. And we'll do some heel lift here. And we'll bring that back a little bit more. Bring that out. Try to lay it on the head a little bit more. If we can. We'll see. No, not so much. We'll have to do that, and then we'll droop this one down a little bit more. If we can. Do something more like that. Bring it back out here. Okay. It's very strange that I can't find those finger controllers, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. We'll just go with what we have for right now. And let's go ahead and set our frame range from 0 to 48. We're just going to do a quick little walk cycle here with this guy. And we'll go ahead and grab everything. Make sure we just have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. We'll go ahead and go to frame 0. Go ahead and save our file before we go any further. And we are using Autodesk Maya for today's video. Is version 2014. For more information on that, check out the links in the description below. And hit S on our keyboard when we have everything selected, and we'll set our first key. And then we'll go here and go to 12. Push that forward. Zero that out. Do a little bit of heel lift here. And set that one. And then we'll take that and bring it to 24. 36. Set there. Yeah. And we want to go back here. We want to do. Oh, for some reason I must have switched that, so let's zero that out. Do our ball roll there. Set that, then copy it there, and copy it there. And zero that out. Okay. What is going on here? It does not like that for some reason. Let's look at the other foot here. On a key selected, let's do that. Key below. Is that going to give me trouble too? Well, who knows? Maybe this will be an interesting one. We'll have to Yes, it is. It's going to just be one of those. I'm going to set that. Bring it back here. Don't get any fingers and we don't really get any feet. Alright, well, let's see what we can do to rectify that situation. Set that and set that. And let's see. Let's slow it down. Let's put it on 14s because he's not going anywhere anytime soon. So let's go Window, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. Let's get 1, 2 more frames there, and 1, 2 more frames there. And then I'm going to go 2 more frames here, which would put us at 42, right? 1, 2, and then 56 overall. And 1, 2. Okay, so we slowed it down a little bit here. He's not in a hurry to go anywhere, this guy. It's just chill. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of translate down there, raise it up, down on the passing position, then go back up, and down again, and go back up, down again, and back where it was again. Okay, and let's kind of even that out a little bit more. Bring that there. And we'll probably tweak this a little bit more. A little bit of lag with this rig too. No fingers, no toes, and a little bit of lag. So that's going to make for an interesting approach to how we do this one and still get some good movement out of here. But we'll figure it out. So let's go back to the feet here, and let's go and key everything there. And then we'll go ahead and get our passing positions in, so we'll lift that one up there. And we'll lift that one up there. Bring it back down. And that's the fun kind of push yourself part of trying out different rigs all the time. You never know what new approaches you're going to have to take based on the constraints of what the rig offers or doesn't offer. So if you're looking to kind of push your animation a little bit more, I say go in there, give yourself a time limit, go grab a rig you've never used before, and see what you can come up with. It's definitely a fun challenge, I think. Some days it's easier than others, and some days it's more difficult, but that's part of the creative process, is to always be pushing yourself to try different things. Let's go more so now. Okay, and let's go ahead. If I did everything here and key selected on that. It's going to let me do that. Let's see, facial UI, geometry, low res. We'll leave that in the proxy for now. Just seeing there's got to be some reason to get these working here. Oh well, we'll just keep going with this. I don't want to spend a bunch of time doing that, so let's go ahead and push the hips over the planted foot there, and over this one over here, and back again, and over again, and zero it out. And scale that back a bit more. Bring that over. And let's do a little bit of rotate Z here. From there. There. started. And let's look at those rotate Y's and make sure we've got a fairly even amount on both sides there. And we'll probably scale it back a little more too. Chest here. Yeah, see, that doesn't really do much there. Yeah, so I'll just have to stick with this one. And go 21 here. Offset a little bit of what we did with the hips here. Bring that back and zero it out a little bit here. Yeah, let's go see that here. A little bit laggy, but we can kind of see how we're feeling here. Okay, and let's look at the foot. Let's drag the foot back a little bit more there, bring it down, drag it back here, bring it up, and I think I'm going to make these steps lower as well, because if we want him to feel like he doesn't care, then he wouldn't be putting much effort into each and every step. And so let's balance those out between the two sides so we're not really favoring. Looks like we started doing bit more in the beginning and a bit less towards the end. And let's look at those translate Y's, and let's bring it back down a little bit more here as well. I still want to make sure that our foot isn't really intersecting the ground, and we're still fine there. Let's do a little bit of swing in the arm. Actually, I don't think I did any rotate Y here. Get that little bit of twist there. So I'd want to not translate, come on, rotate. Go there. Bring that back on the other side. This way. We get a little bit of twist in the body this way. And go back again. And let's look at this first one. Make sure we still kept that zeroed out. Okay. And let's look at our rotate Y. Let's even it out for both sides. We're not favoring one side over the other. Bring that back. And let's look at the rotate Z here. Let's scale that back a little bit more. Even it up a bit as well. Actually, let's go ahead and keep it a little bit more. Something more like that. Okay. Let's see how it feels. this throughout there here. Okay. Alright, now let's do some swing in the arms. So let's do a little more rotate Y here to begin with. And bring it back here, swing it back, forward, and back, and then forward again. And let's check that out here. Alright, and let's look at the forearm. Let's go four. Yeah, let's go four. We'll swing it forward. And then 7 frames from that would be 11. Or 14 and 18 when you swing it back. 12 frames in between, right? 30 we'd swing it forward. And 42 would bring it back. Oh, we want 14 frames in between. So we're doing this on 14ths. Push it back 2 frames. And this should be back 2 frames here. Then go back to where we were before. Let's go back to pushing that at 7. This one needs to be a little more broken here, so we get some swing back. Go a little bit further there. Let's look at the hand here. Swing it up there, and go back there, and up here, and back there, and then forward again. Okay, and let's look at the other arm. I want to swing that forward, and bring it back, and forward, and go again. Let's look at that elbow. Let's actually push this back a little bit further. And 7, we'll drag it. 21, we'll go the other way. And 35, we'll go this way. And 49, we'll go this way, and then back again. Let's see how that feels. Alright, let's exaggerate it a little bit more. And let's look at the wrist. We'll drag that back. And swing that forward. And we'll drag that back. And we'll swing forward again. And then go again to where it was before. Alright, a little too much translate X feels like while I'm watching that, so we'll scale that back. Bring that back there. Maybe a little too much rotate Z as well. So scale that back a little bit more. Let's see. much do everything we already did in the hip controller, but we'll do it again, and we'll exaggerate a little bit more and delay it a little bit more just to loosen up the hips a little bit from where they were before. Alright, and then we'll do a little bit of rotate Z here, there, then go back. Let's see how it feels. Okay, and then we'll take everything and I'll just delay it a frame. Yeah, let's look at the translate wise. Maybe we'll break them down a little bit further here. Up a little bit more. Alright, I think I'm going to do a play blast so I can actually watch this at speed, so I'm just going to pause this. Alright, it's feeling okay. Like I said, it's a little bit slower here than usual. So we're going to have to try and do some stuff to play with our timing a little bit more. So it doesn't feel like everything's working so much, but we'll get there. Yeah, let's look at the belly. So I'm going to push the belly. Oh, it's not. I thought it was going to be a separate belly controller. Okay, well, it's another way that we can do that. Push the belly out there, then in here, out there, in here, out there, back there, go here again. Let's clean that up a little bit more. Let's lay it a frame as well. Actually, let's put it at about 11 there. And then 4. We'll do one this way. Okay, I still feel like there's too much side to side here. Let's scale that back even more. Still feels like it's too wobbly, so let's just scale it back. Let's just do this and go 2 frames and we'll zero it out. So we don't really have a toe break. We gotta do something to get that foot kicked up. 2 frames, we'll zero it out. Right back. This one. Go here. We'll do a little bit of rotate up there. 2 frames. We'll zero it out. Normally I would do that with the heel controller, but since it doesn't seem to be keyable for us for some reason here, we'll have to do it this way. And we'll do a little bit there as well. I scale it back a little bit more? Maybe it's still a little bit too much rotate Z. Is that what it is? Let's see. I'm going to push the arms out just a little bit more, so hopefully we don't get as much intersection with the arms and the legs there. Let's watch it here. Let's allow a little more drag back here. Swing back. Those wrists. That one feels okay, but we might need to do a little more forward on this side. Let's watch it again. And move it a little more forward on the elbow on this side here. Or maybe we'll do a little bit of rotate out, and back, and out, and back, out, and back, and out, and back again. Alright, let's look at that a little bit more. And we'll minimize that a bit more as well. And then we'll offset it with the head, but that way we get a little jut out on the head. Add a little more personality to him. Alright. And let's look at the head here. And so we'd want to go out here. And then back. Out there, and then back, and out there, and back, out there, and then back again. So let's see how that feels. Okay, let's watch that now. If anything, we could probably play that up even more. Let's even it out a little bit more so we have a little more wherewithal of where to go. Then we can exaggerate it a little bit more. So do a little more there. We'll take everything on the neck. Just look at the rotate X's and we'll exaggerate those a little bit more. And we'll do a plate blast and see how we're looking. Just gonna pause that so you guys don't. Okay, so we got that little bob in the head. The hips don't feel like they're going too much sway side to side. I'd still like to do some fingers and some toes here, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to mess with those. So we'll loosen up the head. We'll do a little bit with the ears, a little bit with the hair here, and a little bit in the mouth and the face. So let's look at the jaw. Let's go 4, go up, and then 11 will go down, 18 up, let's just do a little bit of side to side in the hair there. Swing it out that way. And swing back on 21. And 35. And 49. And then back again. And let's look at the middle portion. And we'll swing that way. Actually at 14, we want to do that. And we'll swing this way here. And then 28 will go there. And 42 will go that way. And then back again. Let's see how that feels. One thing I do want to do is maybe go a little bit further down here. Let's see. And just do a little bit of bounce on that, I guess. That way we can keep it there. Cool, buddy. And bring it back here. And swing it out. Back there. Swing it out. And go back. We gotta clean that up a little bit better as well. One sec here. Alright, so let's see how that feels. Okay, now let's do the tip here. Okay, so let's do the tip of the hair there. Let's go back to on 7s. We'll have it drag this way. And then at 21, it'll swing out that way. Actually, no, it should go this way instead. So swing it that way. Okay. And that way out. Then back again. And then back to where we started. So let's see how that feels. Alright, sorry about that. Got some crazy kitties this morning. Alright. I'll probably do a little more. Rotate from the base itself. And a little less in the midsection here. So tone this down a little bit more. I think the tip works okay. Alright, so let's see now. Yeah, let's look at the ears. We'll do a little bit of bounce in the ears. We'll do those at 4. Up. And down. Up. And down here. Up there. Down there. Up there. Down there. And then back again. And let's even those out and minimize them a little bit more. And let's do the outer portions of the ears here. tweak the timing a little bit more on these. We'll see. Let's see how that plays. It's all right. Alright, and let's see, where were we? Let's do a little bit, let's do a blink here. So let's set what we have there, and then we'll bring those down, do a little bit, I'm guessing that's the up portion of the blink. Oof, get some tears in there, so we'll just do a little bit of that, and we'll go mostly down then with the eyelids there. Bottoms here. Open it a little more. We'll go back to where we were. Okay. Bring that there. Let's look at the eyelids themselves. Let's actually open them a little bit more so we overshoot. And let's keep them down a little bit more. Alright, and then let's see if we can't adjust this for a couple of frames and then hold what we have at 2 till about 12 and hold that we have at 31, take what we have, do the other way around, take what we have at 52 and bring that to about 31. So we still have a little bit of movement in the beginning and the end, but get a little bit of overshoot. Alright, I think it works. I'd really like to get some toes and fingers, so I'm gonna try one more thing here, see if I can get those to work here. Alright. It does seem to be that there is a controller for them, but unfortunately it looks like perhaps it's not in the free version here. So if you guys know, definitely let me know in the comments down below, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we'll be able to do much with the toes or the fingers in this rig, which is kind of a bummer, but I think we did alright with what we got. Let's see if we could do maybe a little bit of bounce on the nose here. Do a little bit more there. Just trying to add stuff where it can with what we have. Go down there. And then up there. And down there. Up there. Down, up, and down, and back again. I think we did alright with the controllers that we could use. Just wish we could have gotten into a couple more extras that doesn't appear that we can play around with here. So apologies about that, but I think we were able to still get something usable out of it. Feels like it's going too much up and not enough down, so let's crank up the down a little bit more. Let's look at it now and delay it 2 frames, maybe 3 frames. Let's see. It's alright. Default T-pose hands just drive me nuts. But we'll keep with what we got. So let's go ahead and turn our curves off and let's look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of George McManus. And he said, love thy art, poor as it may be, which thou hast learned, and be content with it. Of thyself neither the tyrant nor the slave of any man. I wouldn't put it quite like that, but we would mean the same thing. And he was quoting Marcus Aurelius, or referring to quote from him. And I think that's an important part, is to love where you're at in your journey and love the journey and be content with it and just continue to keep pushing yourself each and every day to improve where you can with the resources that you have and the knowledge that you have and the passion that hopefully you're infused with. And thanks for hanging out with me. A little bit of a different one today. Unfortunately, I'm a little bummed that we didn't have fingers and toes to play around with. I think that kind of halted us a little bit. But we'll make do. And thanks again for watching. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. You guys are amazing. I hope you're taking another leap in your journey today. And thanks for hanging out with me. And that being said, we'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.